Hello everyone and welcome. It's 5 p.m. in Paris. We are just waiting for a few minutes and we will start the presentation of France. Welcome to the newcomers. We wait only 1 minute and we will begin the session. Is everybody hearing us well? Yeah, looks like. Okay, perfect. So we can start.
Very emotional museum. You also can discover some remarkable sites as the Mont Saint-Michel, situated on the border between Normandy and Brittany. This famous mountain is a UNESCO World Heritage Site with its abbey on the top, and it's a really nice place to discover all over the year. Yes. Concerning Etretat, peaking at around 85 meters in height, famous for their three distinct natural arches. These cliffs have inspired many artists such as Monet and Maupassant, and offer a unique and breathtaking maritime landscapes. And finally, you have Colville-sur-Mer for its American War Cemetery, one of the most famous cemeteries in the region and in the country, located near Omaha Beach.
Yeah, all these five main towns in Normandy, you can easily spend 1 day and 1 night in all these cities. If you want to spend specific time in the region of Normandy, it's quite a big and very interesting destination. So you can do a 1 day trip from Paris, one trip from Paris, or you can spend a week or small week in the region if you want.
So concerning the activities on the platform, that is what you can find. So obviously the guided tour and entrance ticket to the Mont Saint-Michel. You have also a personalized private walking tour like a local in Caen. You have the D-Day landing beaches in a sidecar, and you also can discover the Giverny house. In the footsteps of Claude Monet, the famous painter, and you also have the full day in the footsteps of D-Day in Normandy on the platform. And concerning our selection of hotel, you can find different selection of hotel. The Mercure 2 in the Mont Saint-Michel, the Best Western Le Cheval Blanc in Honfleur, the Mercure Champ de Mars in Rouen, and the Ibis Paul de Mer in Caen. Now we will talk about the Loire castles, so in the west of the country. So just here, so the country is really famous for the numerous castles in the country, and the essentials are those four. So you have the first one, Chambord, which is a masterpiece of the French Renaissance, famous for its unique blend of medieval and Renaissance architecture and its impressive double staircase. So it's the first one on the top of the right in the presentation. You also have the Chenonceau Castle, Renaissance jewel, famous for its elegant architecture overlooking the Cher River and its history marked by the women who have shaped it. So it's the one in the right behind the Chambord Castle. You have also the Castle of Amboise, a symbol of French history. It has hosted numerous sovereigns such as Charles VIII, Louis XII, and Francis I, and houses the presumed tomb of Leonardo da Vinci, making this castle an essential architectural and historical gem. And finally, you have Azay Rideau. It's an architectural masterpiece of the Renaissance, located on an island in the Indre River. And this castle harmoniously blends French architecture, tradition, and Italian influences. So these castles you can spend as well as Normandy a week in the region, but you also can visit them from Paris on a day trip or on a 2-day trip. So all the entrance tickets are available on the platform, but you have also other products, and we will find it in a couple of minutes. And concerning our selection of hotels, you have those one. So you have the Château de la Roselle in Blois, just near to the Chambord Castle. You have the Best Western Le Vichy-Loire Valley near to the Amboise Castle. You have the Ibis Styles Blois Centre near to the Chambord Castle, and the Clarion Hotel Château Belmont in Tours. Tours is a famous city in this region where you can stay if you want to visit all those castles. And finally, we will talk about the French Riviera and Provence. So it's in the southeast of the country, just bordered by the Mediterranean Sea and Italy. So when we talk about the Côte d'Azur and the French Riviera, it's the sunny coast. You can find glamour and luxury. You can discover the famous seaside resorts of Cannes and Saint-Tropez with their private beaches, luxury boutiques, and lively nightlife. You also have the picturesque villages and the culture. So you can explore charming villages like Aise or Menton. A famous city like Saint-Paul-de-Vence, which is rich in art, history, and Provençal markets. You also can discover beaches and outdoor activities in the Côte d'Azur, evenly beaches, crystal clear waters, and activities such as hiking, cycling, or sailing. You also can discover typical Mediterranean food. You can enjoy local cuisine with fresh seafood, Provençal specialties, and wines from the Provence region, which is very good. And finally you have the climate, an ideal climate with sunshine almost all year round, with mild temperatures, perfect for spring and relaxing by the sea, mainly between April and October, approximately. And in the south of the country, so in French Riviera and Provence, you have many cruises in some calanques. So today we decided to put the calanque of Esterel. You have some private tour of Nice and many cities like Marseille or Aix-en-Provence. You also have a day trip on the lavender fields, which are very, very nice in the end of the day. You also can find some cruises on a catamaran, and you will have also tours in the Côte de Provence wines to discover some vineyards of the region. Concerning our favorite hotels in this region, so you can find the Westminster Hotel Spa in Nice, and the Hôtel de la Fontaine in Nice, and the Hôtel L'Orangerie in Saint-Tropez, and it's a mistake because the last one is not in Tours, but I can't remember, sorry. But you can find a lot of other favorite hotels in our platform in a few minutes. So today we decided to show you our few itineraries for a first step in France. So Emmanuel will present you in a few minutes one or two itineraries. So we can advise you the Paris for the first time, the from Paris to the French Riviera if you want to discover Paris and the south of France. You also have a tour of France from Paris. And in this itinerary, you can stay in Paris for a week and go in the west to discover the Loire castles. You can go in the D-Day landing beaches. You can go in the Burgundy to see the champagne, to drink the champagne. And you can stay in Paris to see the Eiffel Tower or go to Disneyland as you want. You also have an itinerary of the discovery to the Loire Valley to discover all the castles in this region. And we also wanted to present you a duo between Paris and London for a few days. If you want to spend 4 days in Paris and 4 days in London, it's totally possible. So, Emmanuel, the mic is yours.
So I will share my screen with our website.
C'est
You
bon.
see it? Yeah, okay. So on destination, of course, you can select in Europe, France, and you will land on our page of our trips in France. As Erwan just said, on the top, you've got our preferred itineraries in France. So either for breaks from the east coast of America or from UK, you can easily spend a few days in Paris. Or if your client want to stay longer and visit France, either from one point, a central point would be Paris, obviously. We've got a lot of transportation to arrive. And since it's really in the heart of the north of France, you can spend 9 or 10 days and visit every day a different part of France. So we can choose a tour of France from Paris. And we'll begin we'll try to book a trip. Let's say that we want to go when it's sunny and warm, but not too crowded. So let's say the beginning of June for two people, a romantic trip. We'll go from the east coast, sorry. And now the website is looking for availabilities. You already got your project ID, so if you want to change to record your project and come back later, you've got here your number, the reference. So I've got my availabilities. Departure from New York, spend the night over the Atlantic. The transfer is included, private transfer. You arrive at your accommodation. We can recommend the Best Western. It's a brand that is well known over the America. It's in the district of Montparnasse, which is also quite central in Paris. Montparnasse is the highest tower in Paris, inside Paris. It's not a very nice looking tower, but it's interesting to go up this tower, and you've got a nice view of Paris. Since the tower itself is not interesting, but the view from the tower is interesting because you can view all the monuments from Paris. You can see the Eiffel Tower, you can see the Arc of Triumph, you can see Montmartre. So that's a very good place that you can recommend. And there's a lot of restaurants, also some theaters, and it's well deserved by the public transportation also. So that's quite a good place to stay in Paris. You can also spend some time. Well, Paris has a lot of districts, and most of them are interesting. So there's not really bad place inside Paris as long as you are in the middle of Paris to stay. The next day, day two of your trip, you can go to the Loire Valley Castle, spend the full day with your driver and guide in English. And you can see the castle that Erwan just presented. They are really famous castles. So as Erwan said, we can spend just 1 day to visit the 2 or 3 most famous, but you also can spend 2, 3 or 4 days because there are tens and tens of castles. You can see really different ones. The next day, you relax a little bit in Paris, and you have a cruise on the Seine River, with a lunch. So you can see all the monuments from the Seine River, from Notre-Dame de Paris to the Eiffel Tower. So it's a must see and must do in Paris when you come. It's the cruise on the river. After, it's my favorite part. You can see behind me that that's a little tip in the region of the Champagne. So the main city is Reims, where you've got this beautiful cathedral. That's just my opinion, but it's the most beautiful cathedral in France because it's more sculpted than the Notre-Dame de Paris. And it's very famous also because most of the kings of France has been crowned in this cathedral in Reims. And also what you have to do in this region is taste the champagne, of course. So you can see and visit vineyards and wineries. And it's only a 2-hour drive from Paris, so it's easy to do the return from Paris in 1 day. And of course, you've got your drive, either private or collective, in English. Next day, you go in the region of Erwan,
Yes.
Normandy. You recognize easily the Mont Saint-Michel, which is the most visited place in France. Number one is Mont Saint-Michel, that's the most visited place in France, and second is the Eiffel Tower. So that you can easily spend the full day in Mont Saint-Michel. It's as expensive as in Paris, so it's a lot of people, and it's a beautiful, but it's a beautiful place to visit at least once in your lifetime. The next day, you can visit two wonderful regions, Giverny, with its wonderful gardens, and Versailles, the famous castle of Versailles, where the French kings used to live, in the wonderful castle of Versailles and its huge gardens. So you can easily spend even 2 days to visit the full castle and gardens. After, it's also a must-see for the Americans, the D-Day and the landing beach in Normandy. That's also something that you can do during one day, or you can spend maybe 2 days, because there are different beaches, different cemeteries, different memorials and museum. But here we propose a one-day trip, also with your guide in English. The last day, you earned your free day in Paris to do a little bit of shopping, taste some pastries, and taste also a little bit of wine. And then you come back to your home country. If you want to change activity or remove one, you've got, of course, this possibility. I want to change my activity. So here you've got this button, change activity. I stay in Paris, so I want to see all the activity that I can do on the 9th of June. And it will propose the cruise river, the secret of Latin Quarter, and so on and so on. So many activities, Moulin Rouge also, Disneyland parks. So all the things that you would add or replace in your itinerary. Or if you just want to remove or delete, simply delete. Yes, I want to delete this activity, and that's it. So that's it for this itinerary, and also the same thing for the accommodation. If you want to select the accommodation, either change the room. It has selected the cheapest room in the hotel, so the superior room. So you can either change the room or change the hotel. So if you want to choose your hotel and select, maybe if you want a 5-star instead of a 4-star, so you can add this filter. So here I want in stars, I want only the 5 stars. So it will select only the 5 stars, and you see this little picture. So that's the hotels that we recommend. So that's the Worldia selection. So you've got 21 results of hotels in Paris. As you can see on the map, most of them are centrally located in Paris. So all these dots are very good location in Paris. Montparnasse is here. It's also a good location. The location that you might avoid are around the peripheric, that the main road that is surrounding Paris. So every time you are close to this peripheric boulevard, that's not the best place to stay as a tourist. So that might be my recommendation. Or even La Défense is not that a bad place to stay. It's outside Paris. It's the city district with all the office and the high towers. And it's you can easily go by public transportation from La Défense to the Champs-Élysées, which is located here. Champs-Élysées. But anyway, Paris is not that a big city. You can walk easily, and you can take public transportation. We've got tramways, subways, bus. We don't recommend taxis, which are quite expensive. But public transportation and your foot are the best way to visit Paris, since every area is interesting. for myself, I live in Paris for 25 years, and I still discover every week a new part of Paris. So uh, one time in Paris is never enough. So Erwan, I leave the presentation to you. Back.
Yes, thank you, Emmanuel. So I will share my screen. I just wanted to resume all the presentation in a slide. So in France, we decided today to do a focus on only 4 regions, but you will find 12 regions in the country. You will just have to choose the one that you want in the menu. You also have 88 itineraries in the country. You have approximately 600 activities available on the platform. So as show you, Emmanuel, you can filter by your guided language or the different filters that are on the platform. And you have a selection of 2,200 hotel, but if you go on the out of selection hotel, you will find approximately 3,500 thousand, sorry, hotel in all the country. So you have a larger choice of accommodations in the country. So that's it for today about France. I don't know if you have any questions or if you want to discuss about something that I didn't talk about.
Yes, we've got wonders about the Montparnasse Tower. So I will share a picture to show you what I was talking about. So this is the tower. So in my opinion, it's quite ugly. So that the tower itself, but the view from the tower is quite impressive. So you have the best view to the Eiffel Tower, the Invalides. So you've got a very spectacular view. And to answer some questions also, we will share the presentation and the replay of the recording of this session, of course, to all of you. So if you have any other question, or if you want us to talk about another region that we didn't talk yet, because France is a very deep destination. We've got many regions and many different things to do, like the wine tasting regions. Erwan talk a little bit about it. Of course, there's the Champagne region, but there's also the Burgundy region where you can spend 2 or 3 days. The Bordeaux region in the southwest of France, where you can spend 3, 4, 5 days easily. It's a little bit further from Paris. It's a 3 or 4 hour train road, but you can you can spend in Bordeaux easily 2 or 3 days
Yeah,
itself, and all the vineyards and all the coast in this region. You can do some biking and obviously wine tasting. So that's also a good region to visit. And on the far east of France, you've got Alsace region, which is well known for the wine also, but also for the Christmas markets. In Strasbourg, you've got a very famous Christmas market in December. So yes, quite a lot of region. There's a question about Malbec. Malbec is one grapefruit that is well used in Bordeaux, so that the things that you will learn visiting this region. And we've got obviously hotel activities and itineraries in this region. Well, thank you very much to all of you for your attention. And we hope that we inspire you and give you the will to visit and make your client visit France. And we stay at your disposal for any question, and hope to see you next week with another presentation of Europe on Central Europe, and it will be with my colleague Valentina, who is in Berlin, in Germany. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.